Raidieraksts Drošinātājs.
Before we speak about the project itself, can you maybe translate this name of this project, Zavdyaky? Or how should I pronounce it?
In Ukrainian, it's Zavdyaky, and it's very easy to translate. In English, it's going to be thanks to. And if you see the logo of this project, there is a letter with eyes. So it's like personality, small personality. It's letter. It's Ukrainian letter which called Ya, and in Ukrainian it means me.
Okay.
So we made this logo to emphasize on Ukrainian's letters, which means me, and we need to understand that loss of every me that have Ukrainians, we actually feel each loss as a nation, as society, and that's what's project about.
Before the interview, I thought, when someone we love leaves us, we remember them in our thoughts, at home, with a candle maybe next to a photo, in the cemeteries, in the church. But you decided to create this project. Tell me more about what is this project and why did you want to create it?
So this project is an online memorial to the lives of those who perished. And, the reason me and my friends, we decided together to make this project because inside we found that we have a lot of missions, and one of these missions is cultural and I would say social. We want to collect memories of fallen because remembrance, it's also kind of defense for the nation. Because all the wars that have happened in the world before, they have some archives and they have some memories in photographs or in words. A lot of people didn't even had kids or relatives who could tell about them. But come on, we live in 21st century. It becomes much more possible to remember more, to show more, and to think a bit, I would say, wider than it was before, because people before didn't have such a possibility that we have. If we could make a usual project as everyone does in every country, because in every country we have online memorials, but this one is a bit different because we want to make a big database with special accents. Because in Ukraine, it happens though that most of people who are militaries now, they are defending us now. They have never thought that they will have a life where they have to be soldiers. So as a team, we look at this project as a project about civilians who lost their lives being or becoming a professional militaries. Nobody expected that. And each person who perished in this war, I would say, the center of what we lost, it's a personality. Because Ukraine is a young country, to tell the truth, really young. It's 30 years only of independence, and our society started to form. And as society, we started to feel that it forms in the right way and goes in the right way in about 10, 15 years ago. And people like me who were young, who were just like 15, 20 at that time, we had a lot of dreams and had a lot of ambitions of what we want to make for this country and for this nation, to become really great. And then the war started in 2014, and then the whole Ukrainian war in 2022. And most of us, of young people, we are involved into this. And I would say that it rejected all our ambitions, missions, and dreams. But there are going to be people after us, and those of us who will survive. And we need to take all those values and go on. So this project is about personalities, values, stories, families, and memories in different kind of way, because we don't only have written information or just photos. We started to create documentaries about those people who we lost. And these documentaries, we only have 5 of them. They are all very different from about people from different places of Ukraine. The saddest thing, they all about very young people, because middle age of profiles we have on our website is 20 to 24, middle age. And it sounds terrible, but as a nation and a society, we have what to learn from those people who we lost.
Do you think that those who are dead in Ukraine are not maybe commemorated as they should be? Maybe in the, I don't know, in a public space, maybe also not only on online, but I don't know, in the city squares and so on. Do you think that that there's too little of this commemoration?
It's difficult to say that it's too little in the middle of a hell that we have in our country, because yes, it's an NGO project. We have an NGO project, but still we have a lot of dreams, and we dream that once this war will end and commemoration will get to new levels on in a good way of development by government. Let's say it like this. But for now, society and civilian people have also a lot of missions and commemorization missions also, because our government and our militarians have a lot of hard things to do. Not only this, in every city, in every single village in Ukraine, we have kind of commemorization of people who are from this place exactly. It's a governmental program. Except of governmental program, we have, I would say, area programs. For example, Kyiv area, Kharkiv area, Donetsk area. There are also governmental programs which are trying to collect information and show and tell about the people who have died from those areas. But it's not enough. And we do what we can do in every part of society. Government does what they can. People as society, as mass, trying to do what they can. And projects like us are trying to do what we can. I think that we started to move as a society, as country, and as government. We started our way to commemorization in I would say systematic way only a year ago, because a year ago we've started to talk to each other on special panels and special events to create a new form, to create a good form, to remember and to go on with the story of everyone. So in a way, it's only forming, everyone trying to do his very best.
So, speaking more about project, how do you get this information about the fallen soldiers, fallen people? Do you do maybe relatives contact you, or how is this happening?
Yes, that's right. We have a website, and on this website, anyone who lost anyone in this war can make a profile of this person. Usually, profile filled up by mothers or wives. Usually, it's about 70% of profiles. Other 30%, it's their friends or their relatives, other relatives, like more like brother-in-law or someone like this. And we have few profiles which were filled by some village journalists. They literally wrote us, hello, parents of this guy are too old to use internet, but I wrote about him and I want to make his profile. So we don't take the information from open source. We get this only from people who knew these people.
What is the way in which you honor these people? You mentioned also documentaries. I understand there are some kind of cards with the people on the website, photos also. How does this look?
Yes. We have profiles with. Like we divided profile in design into few blocks. One block is favorite quotes of this person. Second block is what people say about this person. Third block is about life of this person, about dreams of this person, about reasons why this person decided to be a militarian. Plus, we have photo cards. Now we are working on possibility to show also videos, because we are also collecting them, like videos from life. And we also are working on the function which called Plus. We want everyone who knew this person to have a possibility to add the information, because for now we do it with our hands. Someone, for example, finds profile of his friend, and they wrote to us through social media, like, I want to add some info, I want to add some photos, and we do it by our hands. But we're going to make it like a function of the website.
You mentioned also these documentaries. How do you choose who you will make a documentary, maybe?
Okay, I will tell you the truth. The truth is not very beautiful, but we have values of our team. Values of our team and project are about equality. So, like, we take every person as equal. It doesn't matter for us if this person was known or unknown, from which region this person, what gender, we don't care, because they are equal for us. So, because it's a startup and it's only a year of this project, we didn't have a lot of money because we invested into this project our own money. Without any support, without any advertisement and stuff like this. And choosing people, like for the first film, we had chosen the first profile, which was filmed on our website. And for other films, we had chosen absolutely randomly, because we've been sitting with the team thinking, okay, how much money we have to go somewhere and to spend 3 or 4 days filming. So going through this part, we were looking how far into Ukraine we can get on 2 cars with all tactics and stuff like this. And then we were choosing randomly who to film about.
And how willing are those relatives to tell about their fallen family members, to tell their stories? Are they open, or how hard it is?
We have special option when you film the profile. You can choose if you want to give an interview. To say truth, 95% of people want to tell about their close and about their relatives. When we make the first call, they are very happy, but all of them afraid of cameras and stuff like this. So firstly, we do some job before going to film them. We are preparing them, trying to explain that we are not the scary guys, we are not journalists, everything gonna be absolutely differently. And then we have kind of a system of the way how we interview each person, because it's about losses and it's about huge pain, and people feel themselves naked when they talk about it. And when you have cameras in front of you, it becomes worse. So our team had spoken a few times to special psychotherapists, which helped us to build system how to interview those people without making them feel really bad. And we have special algorithm which takes usually 1.5 or 2 hours of interview for each, for those people to come out from this interview with a smile and with a feeling that they made something good, great, and feel better after this, not worse.
Yeah, but of course, those conversations they are pretty emotionally difficult for the family members. I guess. Yeah.
Yes, but if you do it in the right way, they feel much better.
Is there? I know that every story, of course, is important, but maybe is there a story particularly that had maybe a hard impact on you? I don't know. Maybe you can tell me some example, maybe from what have you gathered? One example, maybe about one story in short, maybe.
You know what's the best part with about this project? We didn't want to be like other memorials, just an archive, or saying just about the militaries. And we started this project and doing this in a way of love. So we're trying to get through huge love and humor with each person through this. And yes, it sometimes when we get those profiles, it becomes painful inside. But when we start to talk to relatives, trying to get more info, more photos, more knowledge about those who perished, it's always full of love. And I think that's the reason why we still all have good psychic in a team. We have a lot of special stories because really a lot of them are special. But I don't know, for example, the last story that we made film of was special because we became very close. All team became very close with the wife of that guy that we made a film about. His military name was Cody. Cody, it's a penguin from the movie. And his actual name was Philip Averenkov. Very special guy. He was only 30 or 31 when he perished. And his wife started commemoration right after his death. Today is right the year when he died. So she started a few ways of commemoration. First way, she started making exhibitions with his photos. Because this guy, he walked by his legs through 7 countries, like Iran, Georgia, Turkey, and countries like this, walking through with $500 in his pocket. And he was making really great photos of those countries and telling stories about them. And she started to make exhibitions about their life and about this his hobby, I would say, which had taken 2.5 years of his life. That's one way. Second way, she's made special socks. We have Ukrainian brand which called Dodo socks. They are really doing a lot of stuff with social and cultural impact on socks, yes. And Cody, when he got to the army, he was wearing pink socks all the time because that was his inside protest against the multicam. And when he perished, she wrote to this company and they made special memorial socks about Cody with his quotes, very funny quotes on the socks, which military guys from his department, they love this. And it goes really well and it tells a lot about the Cody. Third thing, she made special sort of coffee with one Ukrainian company because Before going to the army, Cody was barista, and he dreamed to make his own sort of coffee for filter and espresso, and he knew exactly what he wants to have, like aftertaste. So when he perished, this company he worked with contacted his wife, and they made together this special sort of coffee that Cody wanted. And when we met her, you should see this woman. She's really beautiful. She's full of life. She's full of pain, and she's refilling with huge love. And it's impossible to pass through. And this story about this guy, I think that it was the first time when all the team didn't feel that this guy perished. She's talking to him in a way, about him in a way, and she's treating everybody in a way he is alive. And it's not crazy. It's just the way she makes people feel about it. So it was a really interesting work on film because we had 90 gigabytes of archive files from her. And after we finished the film, we all spoke with each other for a month, I think, that we all have feeling like we all were really close friends with him. And this guy became special for the team.
How many stories of the fallen have you collected so far? Do you count approximately?
I would say about 2,000. I cannot tell you exact number.
And what kind of maybe feedback have you received from relatives or from other people about your project so far?
That's a great part of our work because we get the feedback all the time. And because we are not just a website. For example, if someone gave us not enough of information, we wait for a couple of weeks and then we write to these people, or if it's mom and she's quite old, we call to her and we start to talk with people about their relatives to find out more and to help them fulfill the spaces. And that's the reason why we always get a lot of feedback that we are very human. We have a lot of humanity and we have a lot of love. Which the things which I like from people who are just have seen our project somewhere, they really see that we are a light project about the sunlight, I would say even, and not about pain, not about death. And all these feedbacks telling us that we are moving in the right way.
And is collecting stories, I guess, important not only for relatives, but I guess, like you mentioned, for the whole Ukraine, for history, and then also for the comrades who fought together with that exact person.
Yes, absolutely. And we have a lot of messages from comrades, and we even have already one case. There are two guys. They have huge injuries, and because they cannot be at war anymore, they decided to make a brand of clothes which will memorize people. And they came to us and said that we have quite a few of their comrades on our website, and they want to make a collaboration to do it in a good and in a light way. So it means that for militaries, this project is even more important, maybe even more important than only for relatives.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there are many people who are waiting to be included in your project, if we can say that, because and also we see that we still do not know the fate of many Ukrainians because there are many more missing people. So I guess many families have to live with their entire lives without ever knowing what happened to their loved ones or where they are. So that's also a huge burden, I guess.
It's not the only problem. We have like two categories of people who are struggling, and they never know how the struggling will finish. it's not about only the missing people, it's also about people in captivity. I really want to make a point of this, because we have a lot of civilians and militaries in Russian captivity, and you never know which letter you will get from them. That's very important.
And looking at the photos, it is clear, like you said, that many young people have died so far.
Yes, because young people, they are the core of the nation. And mostly, none of young people stays aside. Because even if you're not in army, you donate, you're working hard to donate more. You do other jobs like volunteering or like projects with social impact and stuff like this. Most of young people are very socially active.
How difficult do you think it will be for Ukraine to recover from this war? I mean, in the sense that many young people, smart and talented people, have died.
It's hard to tell you the answer in facts. I can only say about what I feel about it, the way I see it. It's going to be very hard for the whole nation to recover after this war, because we all have kind of trauma, few kinds of traumas. But what I want to say, I have a lot of friends abroad, not Ukrainian, like European, Americans, and for me it's strange to hear from them that in those countries which are so close to our, people usually think that war in Ukraine has finished or almost finished. In Ukraine, we don't feel it in like this way at all. And we have a lot of kids who are teenagers now. Those teenagers, because of COVID and war right after COVID, they had to become adults much more before they could. Those young people are very restricted and directed in their minds about what they want to see in their future. And still we have a lot of young people and men and women which make a lot of projects for society. And still we have a lot of people who are not so young, but they have built this country for 30, 35 years and given their lives to make this country better. So I think that trauma of nation gonna be quite big and quite feelable. I don't know how to say it in another way. But perspective to become much better, stronger, and direct is good.
It seems that many people in Ukraine personally know someone who died in the war. Do you also have a relative friend or someone who fell in the war?
Yes, I have a lot of people who I had lost. That was not the reason of the project, but yes, I have a lot of people who I have lost as civilians and as militaries. And sure, it doesn't feel good inside, but I think that's one more reason why it's impossible to stop us.
And how would you compare the value of human life in Ukraine and in Russia?
Reading the news from all the sides and seeing what happens, and having a lot of friends who are militaries now, I would say that it's very easy to see the difference. We are trying to save our people as a government, as a society, which does everything for militaries. We're really trying to save people and protect everything we have. From Russian side, it looks like they use their people like shields and meat. Sorry for those words, but it's the way it looks like. And looking at political situation in Ukraine and in Russia, it feels like Yes, we have a lot of trouble because this fucking invasion, but we are trying to move forward. And everything what happens in Russia looks like they're trying to go backwards.
And like you mentioned, with this project, every story is valuable. So it's the same about those who are still alive. For Ukraine, every human life counts. But on the other side, on Russia's side, it's completely different, I guess.
When we have captivity changes with Russia, we have captivity, like people who we get from captivity alive, and we also change with bodies. So there is a very common story that Russians pass into Ukraine their soldiers, not Ukrainian, their soldiers, because they don't give a shit.
Yeah, it is that way.
In Ukraine, there is also a special, there is a guy, he made a special service. He's getting out bodies from the fields that he can find. And he gets out bodies from and Ukrainians and Russians. All people in Ukraine are looking for their relatives. They are all making a lot of DNA tests, trying to find out. And Russia doesn't even want to take their bodies, to bury them, to give them to the relatives. That tells a lot about the nation and about the importance of people.
And I guess Russia tries to wipe away memories as well. After them comes, destruction. If we think about Mariupol, for example, a lot of memories lost there as well. If we look at a city and.
Yes, and they're trying to ruin everything what is about culture. And what's the fun fact? In Mariupol, for example, because we have a lot of cities occupied now, in other occupied cities, they are ruining even architecture and stuff which were built in Soviet Union. Because when it was on Ukrainian territory, it was a touristic magnet and it had some senses. So they're just ruining everything.
A little more about your project. Maybe you can tell how many people are involved right now.
The main core of team, it's 3 people. When we are filming something, it goes up to 8 people. And the exact amount people we need, it's 12 or 14. It depends on. So for now, we are looking for financial support of the project to have a possibility to have those people. But even without them, we are moving on.
Yeah, I was going to ask about this financial side. You already mentioned a little bit about it. So how are you trying and where are you trying to get maybe some funds or donations and how well it is going with this?
We didn't go in the way of donations. I will explain it next way. Those donations are really needed on the front line. And all the team, we think that it's really important to give donates to those who have possibilities to survive and to save this country. So we didn't go the way to collect donations. We are trying to get some grants or private support. The project became we had a year of the project only a few weeks ago. And we gave we went to a few organizations trying to get the grant. We don't know the result for now still, but in NGO sphere it's okay because in NGO you have to push the project for a year at least to get something.
And one more question about the future goals for you and for your team in terms of developing the platform. How do you see the future of this platform? How will you maybe, expand or develop further? And is it also very important for this project to develop to have this financial support?
Yes, financial support is very important for this project because we have a lot of technical needs, and it's all about money. Always about developing the project. We want to develop this project up to the level when we will have possibility to open source in a private way. What I'm talking about, making those films and getting a lot of data. We want to get to the level when we will have possibility to share the materials with journalists, filmmakers, historians, psychologists from all over the world to discover more about war in Ukraine, because we really believe that it can be useful for the world in a different ways. And I really dream about the moment when our country gonna be free again. And we hope that up till that moment, we will have a possibility to pass this project to government and to museums, because getting all this data is very important for our future. And also one of the reasons why we collect as much data as is possible, because we still believe that sometime we're gonna go to the point where we will have world suits, and all this data also can be used for suiting those people.
Okay, well, thank you, and I wish you that this victory comes as soon as possible and on Ukrainian terms, not on someone else's terms. Yeah.
Yes, it's important.
Raidieraksts Drošinātājs.